Hi, I'm Amberly. Welcome back to Real Florida Magazine. Today is your opportunity to find out more about our local area.
Welcome back in another of our series of what is going on at Washington Homes Technical Center. We're here right now with Eddie Beckworth, welding instructor at the Tech Center. We say that WHTC is probably one of the best kept secrets in Northwest Florida. And by that we mean that we're right here in Chipley, Florida. And Eddie, there are a lot of folks that have lived here in Chipley, in Washington County, in this 3 or 4 county area that are completely unaware of what you do, even though they drive by you every single day. Now, we've had the fortune over the last few months of visiting with the culinary program, the phlebotomy course, with cosmetology, with the printing, now with cybersecurity and internet technology, all kinds of cutting edge technology offered right here at the Tech Center. Now, today we have the fortune of finally nailing Eddie down and visiting with one of the more basic but certainly necessary skills when you start talking about metalworking and welding. Eddie, first of all, thanks for taking the time to meet with us today and talk a little bit about your program.
I'm glad to be with you. I stay busy a lot of times, so I don't have a whole lot of time to do things like this, but we decided we're going to make time this morning to do this, and really enjoy having you with us this morning.
Well, thanks for inviting us in. Let's talk a little bit about what you offer. First thing we talk about with most of these instructors is the requirements. Many of your students have the opportunity of enjoying Pell Grants.
That's true.
In some cases, having 100% financing of their program here. Talk a little bit about the welding program and all the requirements and what's it going to take if I wanted to get into your program.
Well, right now you have to have at least a 9th grade education to get in. Hopefully, we prefer that you continue and get a full high school diploma. But as you're taking this course, you know, we got high schoolers come in and taking this course as well as, you know, as adults. So the high schoolers can come half-time and get their academic classes back at the high school. And so we work with them on that as well as our adults. We have some adults that come part-time and some full-time. So we try to accommodate all the aspects of somebody that needs to come in and want to learn this particular field of study. And it's pretty flexible, I'm going to say, because we can work with them, you know, if somebody's working and they need, you know, we don't have a night class anymore in the welding field, but if somebody's working at night, then they can come in the morning and work and leave at lunchtime and go home and get some rest before they have to go to work. We deal with a lot of variety of applicants, you know, coming in wanting to take the welding class, and it's not just for the guys. You know, we've had females, you know, in our program as well, and make outstanding welders.
Well, and your answer opens up lots more questions, and in no particular order. First of all, do you can people enjoy open enrollment in your class? In other words, start anywhere in the course of the year?
Most of the time, yes. If I've got a full class, then we put them on a waiting list, and as soon as the next available spot is open, then we call the first one in, and if that individual has moved on and gone on to something else, then we go down the list and come up. But most of the time, you know, we have a full class coming in, you know, at the first of the year. So if you want to come in, you need to get on the ball and get your name on the list.
Yeah, and that's interesting that this is a class which doesn't have a problem filling up. Not all of the classes here at the Tech Center enjoy that, obviously. You talked about high schoolers. We're talking about a dual enrollment situation where people are taking high school classes at the same time they're taking these college or certification courses. That's huge in today's economy. Many times people graduating college before they graduate high school, or at the same time, or graduating high school with half their college education already done, all the prerequisites anyway. That's strong. You talked about adults. Part of the adult education, the retooling of America. If somebody has experienced some of the downsizing, a nice way of saying you lost your job, looking for another opportunity to make a living, you offer that. Right now, welders in high demand.
They are. Now, when I say that, not right here in Chipley,
but
we have you know, they're begging for welders out in Texas, North Dakota, Nebraska, a lot of the northern states where they're working on the natural gas lines coming down. They can't get enough of welders, and there's a lot of close by, I'm not saying local here in town, but in driving distance, there's been some shutdown work going on, so our students, you know, can get on those jobs and make, you know, $22 up to about $30 an hour plus their per diem, and it could be anywhere from $50 to $75 a day up to about $200 a day for per diem. And that's going to pay for their room and their meals and things and their travel expenses to get there, and their motel room and things like that, or if they have a travel trailer, their rent on the space they have. When you can go and work, you know, for about 4 days and bring home close to $2,000, that's a pretty good comeback.
Well, you know, we're constantly saying that Chipley, Washington County, this Tri-County area is a bedroom community.
That's
and every
true.
day people drive to Dothan, to Marietta, to Tallahassee, to Panama City, and the world's most beautiful beaches to work. So if they have to do that for a welding job, it's really not that big a deal, especially when they're making good wages.
A lot of people, you know, they want to travel and see the United States. So being a welder, you can see the United States, I mean, all over, you know, north, south, east, and west. It's a good opportunity not only to work and make money, but the students can actually see other states besides Florida. You know, if they live here in Florida, Jackson County, Holmes County, Washington County, you know, they can get out of town and see. Now, some people, that's not for everybody, but a lot of the young guys coming up through, it's a good opportunity for them.
Well, here just to our south in Panama City, right down on the Gulf, more appropriately I think in Parker, is Eastern Shipyards, certainly turning out lots of large vessels that require lots of welders. Do you find yourself supplying labor for that effort?
Yes, sir. We've sent welders down there to Eastern Shipbuilders, and they are doing good down there. They're really going strong on building their vessels that they've got contracts for. Even over as far as Mobile, and they've got shipyards over there that's begging for welders, even Mississippi, Louisiana, over that way. There's a lot of welding jobs availability over there.
Eddie, you know, one thing we like to talk about, it's not the end-all to be-all, it's not the most important part of a program, but we like to talk about placement. Do you have a rough ballpark seat of your pants idea of how many people come out of your program and then actually get real-world paying jobs?
As far as the number-wise, I don't have it on the top of the head. We've got a printout sheet, you know, that they fix up for us, you know, of all the ones that we turn in information on, where they're working at and when they went to work. It's on up there. I can't remember now just what the percentage is, but it's high enough that it's keeping us in business.
Well, obviously you offer everything from high school students who are currently in high school all the way up to adult education. If you just want to learn a new trade, if you want to increase your job opportunities, or if you just want to learn how to weld, what is the length of your course?
Our course is 1,170 hours long. If you're coming as an adult full-time, that takes about 11 months to take. If you're coming as a high school student, half-time, you know, 3 hours a day, it'll take you roughly about 2 school terms and maybe a summer class to come through the program. We teach, the first one that come out was a stick welding, or a lot of people, you know, it's arc welding. People call it stick welding because it looks like you're welding with a stick, you know. So that's a very familiar phrase, is a stick welding. We teach MIG welding, and that's a machine that's over here behind us. It's got a spool of wire inside, and you got a gun out here. You mash the trigger, the wire comes out, and when it makes contact with your base metal, it melts and actually produces a weld. We've got flux core welding, we got TIG welding, and then our last one is the pipe welding. And on the pipe welding, it's a combination of TIG and stick welding.
So you're teaching state-of-the-art stuff as far as what's being used in the field right now?
Correct. There's a couple things that we don't do here, and that's the sub-arc welding, and that's really a machine on a track doing its thing, or on a set of wheels that pulls itself and actually welds. Has a hopper with some flux in it. You actually can't see the weld, but it's welding underneath the flux. They use a lot of that at the shipyards.
And that's mechanized.
That's true. automated. You know, you got a welder there watching it, making sure it's doing its thing. And underwater welding, we don't, you know, that's a whole different ball game. You got to have, you know, the underwater facilities, you know, to do that with, and you got to be diving certified to be able to do that as well. So that's just a different field, you know. So it takes different instructors to do the, you know, it's not like one place and you're going to get all the way from the bottom to the top as far as when it comes to the underwater welding.
Sure.
But taking this class, you'd be a lot more prepared if you was going into the underwater field. And I've got, I believe, one of my students that's wanting to head in that direction. So as soon as he leaves here, he's going to go and take an underwater class, you know, underwater welding class.
Well, Eddie, how long have you been working out here at Washington Holmes Technical Center?
Well, I've actually been teaching the day class here this is going on 19 years.
You can't keep a job, I guess, huh?
Well, you know. Well, they've only been at this school, as far as the welding class, only 3 instructors. And I'm the 3rd one. And I've been here for 19 years. I taught the night class for a total of 24 years. So I've been around for a while, and I'm looking forward to my retirement. But this is the best job, the best place I've ever worked. I'm a product of this school. I actually was one of the first high school students to take the welding class, and never dreaming of one day coming back and being an instructor here. But here I am, and I love it. I love the faculty and staff here. It's just a super place to work.
What a joy to be able to live where you want to live, in this case home.
That's right. Yes.
And to do the job that you want to do. More importantly, to pass on that legacy to all of these students. That's got to be one of the most rewarding parts of this job. When
my students leave here, and whenever they tell me they've got this job and they're making good money, oh man, my old heart just pounds and makes me proud. You know, it's exciting. It makes me feel real good whenever my students come back or they call me up and say, hey, I got this job and I'm making this amount of money. And I said, that's super, great. I said, send me some.
Right now, there's over 25 certification programs and licensure programs here at Washington Holmes Technical Center, from law enforcement and public safety to corrections officers to, like we said, the culinary program, cosmetology. We are turning out a huge number of people from right here on this campus that are going out there and getting real-world jobs.
This is true. This school's been here for a long time, and this school has put, I couldn't tell you how many people to work because they come through and got a skill here, and it's continually going on. I mean, it's not just in the past, it's right now. We've got a lot of classes out here that's putting a lot of people to work, and I'm just glad to be a part of that.
Not too long ago, Governor Rick Scott visited here. We had a meeting right here at Patillo's restaurant, and I asked him the question. I said, what is the state, if anything, doing to ensure that we're providing education that truly will provide jobs? And he looked at me and he said, you know, Paul, I understand exactly what you're saying. My daughter just graduated FSU with an anthropology degree. She came home to live with us because she couldn't find a job. I dare say that there are many people that are in that situation here. When they come here and get a licensure or a certification from one of the programs here, they're doing it because they're they already have a job in sight, generally.
Most of the time, I'm going to say in my field here, if there's welders out there that don't have a job, most of the time it's because they don't want to go where the jobs are. Now, there's jobs out there, and for whatever reason, if they need to stay here in this area, then yes, it could be hard to find a job locally. But they are welding jobs out there if they want to go where they are.
Well, again, one of the best kept secrets in this Tri-County area, certainly Northwest Florida, and people don't realize that we offer what we offer, where we offer. Many times, again, being able to get a Pell Grant or some kind of financial aid so that in some cases this program completely free of charge to that student. Are you experiencing some of that in your program? Yes, sir.
We've got a lot of our adults that are on the Pell Grant and some other financial aid, assistance. So, just because somebody don't have money to pay up front to come to school out here, most of the time, I believe that we can get them some financial assistance so they can come to a particular course out here that they want to, and it makes it, I'm going to say, it makes those individuals proud if they can come back to school and get them an education, a skill that they can go to work and provide for their family and be I'm going to say a good tax-paying citizen.
Sure.
Yeah.
We met one young man in the culinary program. He was on the offshore rig in the kitchen. Right. Found out that if he came ashore for a year here to Patillo's program, Pat Patillo's culinary program, he could go back to that same job and get between 2 and 3 times what he was getting because he was certified.
Exactly.
Is that same thing prevalent in the welding industry?
Well, there's actually, most people don't know it, but there's thousands of certifications you get in the welding field because of different procedures, different processes that's out there. Different companies have different processes and procedures that they have to do with whatever product that they're building. So it's not like you can just go get one certification and it covers it all. So most of our students has got a focus on which direction that they're wanting to go. So when they get to that point, we actually, the school here can't certify the students, but we give them a certificate of completion. What we do is prepare them to take a certification test. Like all the other programs, we get them ready. The school itself don't certify them, but we get them ready to go take the certification test. And most of the time, over the whole campus, there's probably 99% of them that takes the test pass.
Eddie, again, thanks for carving out the time today. Best of luck going forward. Great job. I got to tell you, people sing your praises. You're a very self-effacing guy. You don't like a lot of attention. I know that by now, and we admire that. But I'll tell you what, you've got something to be proud of, which you're certainly aware of here. And so again, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, sir.
And Martha Compton, everybody that's at the head of all these programs, and now yourself included, that we've had an opportunity to learn a little bit about your program, doing a great job out here. So thank you.
Thank you. Like I say, it's a super place to work, and I enjoy working here. It's not that I get up in the morning and say, oh, I got to go to work today. I look forward to my day here, and it goes by so fast because we stay busy. I got a certain amount of students that I got to go around and check on and show them how to do the processes. So my day goes by really, really fast, and it's enjoyable to me.
And I forgot to ask, how many students currently in your class?
I've got had 23 on roll, but I've had some to graduate, so I'm in the process of filling those spots. So roughly around 23 is where my top out at.
Okay, so that's as many as you can accommodate at one time,
now,
effectively.
Right. We're looking at maybe getting some more electricity in the building so that I can hook up some more machines, and then I can actually take on more students to have.
So that's what's limiting your capacity, is your ability to put out the current to drive the machines.
Right. We've got the machines, we just don't have the electricity, and we've got the spots that we can put them, we just don't have the electricity coming into the building, and we're looking at that to see what we can do about that.
Well, maybe we need to talk to Gulf Power, see what they can do to partner up with us. Again, right. Thank you for taking the time.
Yes,
today.
sir. Appreciate it, Paul. Glad you come by.
Here at Washington Homes Technical Center, with the fortune today of being able to talk to Eddie Beckworth with the Welding Program, another in the series of what Washington Homes Technical Center has to offer. Certainly you'd agree after listening to this and some of the other interviews that wonderful opportunity if you've been downsized, if you're looking for remedial education, if you're a high school student and don't really know what you want to do, come on out here, talk to the Student Center, come talk to Eddie if you're interested in the Welding Program. You're watching Real Florida Magazine, and we will be right back.